Disappointment for Australia at the World Cup, with the Socceroos achieving the thinkable. Bundled out after a 2-0 loss to Peru. The only bright spot was this huge win over the Peruvian fan who tried to steal Tim Cahill's T-shirt from some kids. Let's watch the slow-mo replay. Cahill with the pass, the attempted interception, and it is shut down by Mumfinger. But for Russia, the World Cup is about much more than sport.
Russia is hosting the tournament and hopes it'll help restore its image abroad.
Much of President Vladimir Putin's popularity stems from his repeated attempts to restore Russia's pride and prestige on the global stage. The World Cup is part of that plan.
So let's take a look at Russia, home of cultural heavyweights Dostoevsky, Tchaikovsky and disgraced former boxing champion Ivan Drago. Russia has been ruled by Putin for 18 years, but while he's doing well, Russia is not.
Under Vladimir Putin, you see two very different Russias. There is Russia, the military and cyber superpower, flexing its muscles on the international stage. And there is another Russia, where more than 20 million people live below the poverty line, and where life is a daily struggle.
Life in Russia is harsh, and not just because their national dish is meat jelly. I mean, you're eating, but at what cost? But if you think that's hard to swallow, it gets worse.
110 individuals own 35% of the wealth of Russia. They are the most unequal country by far.
A tiny group of people own a massive amount of Russia's wealth, and the rest of it is on top of this building. But Putin is a man of the people.
President Putin's official income is around $100,000 a year, and yet he lives like the super-rich. He has a collection of expensive watches. Even his designer tracksuit costs $3,000.
Well, he hides it well, because that $3,000 tracksuit looks shit. So how rich is Putin really? According to the CIA, this rich.
$40 billion. That figure was reportedly confirmed by the CIA in 2014. If true, it would make Russia's president one of the richest men in the world.
$40 billion. Now, to put that in perspective, if you were on the salary of, say, I don't know, a president of Russia, you would have to work 400,000 years to earn that kind of money. Which is why, and this may shock you, Putin has been accused of massive corruption. He's become one of the richest men in the world, while 20 million of his people live in abject poverty. So why doesn't he just kick back, retire and enjoy his tracksuits?
He has got so many guilty secrets, so much money's been stolen, so many people have been killed, that he doesn't really trust anyone to keep him safe if he steps down from power. So in a way, he's both the master of the Kremlin, but also a prisoner in it.
Putin can't ever leave power because he's scared of getting punished. And this is the problem with dictators. Well, one of the problems with dictators. If we want them to go, we need to offer them an exit strategy. Otherwise, they just cling to power until they're 90-year-old despots with nothing but cruel vendettas. I'm looking at you, Robert Mugabe, and to a lesser extent, Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, I know what you did to Princess Margaret. I've watched The Crown. All she wanted was love. The point is that if you want guys like Putin to stand aside instead of being leaders for life, maybe we should start doing world politics like the World Cup. You compete, you win, and then the tournament is over and everyone gets to move on. It looks like this. This is the draw for the World Politics Cup. You've got all of your top dictators and the challengers that could knock them off. Over here we have Gaddafi, Saddam, Kim Jong-il and Hugo Chavez. That's the group of death. And over here is Vladimir Putin. He's got a much more favourable draw. He's already had comfortable wins over journalists, the oligarchs and Pussy Riot. In the round of 16, he miraculously got past a Tony Abbott shirt front.
Look, I'm going to shirt front, Mr. Putin. You bet you are. You bet I am.
He then smashed the European Union to take on Hillary Clinton, who had won in the battle of the popular vote but lost to Putin in a controversial matchup.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
Now Putin has just one last hurdle to defeat, his own fear of being punished for all the bad stuff he's done. And if he can just get past that, he'll win the competition and he can take his silverware and go home. Now, sure, it'd be more fun if the underdog wins, but if he gets Putin off the field, at least the good people of Russia can finally enjoy their meat jelly in peace.